right, all right. I think I've started this time. I think I started. Where's my clap at my
Got him!
no, that wrong one, wrong one,
Got
wrong.
him!
There we go. There we go. I'm out of here. I'm screwed up today, but I'm trying to get it right. Everybody, this is the Raw Report. I usually don't do it around this time of day, but I'm trying something new. Usually it's me and my man Ping who does it on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. We get it popping, and we talk about, various stuff, like relationships is always a good thing. But today I'm trying something a little different, see what happens, and I hope you like it. You know what I'm saying? Let me know your feedback or whatever. And this is all my perspective. This is all from me. This is nothing I was told. I'm only giving you stuff from an experience-based agenda. And again, forgive me for not being prepared. I was just sitting here a minute ago talking, and the shit wasn't even on. So, again, forgive me. But anyway, welcome to the show. This is the Raw Report show. I'm Rob D, your host. And when I see stuff like what's going on with Young Thug and Gunna, it always rubs me a funny way, because when you choose the life of the underworld, selling narcotics, credit card fraud, stick-ups, or whatever your choice of crime is, a lot of times I think people forget that snitching or cooperating with law enforcement is just as much a part of it as the police, as making a lot of money, as women, cars, jewelry, all that stuff that comes with you being a person that's out there in the life of, a person that's doing crime, doing illegal shit. So my question is, I saw, and I'm going to base this primarily off of, Thugger and what they have going on and their case, and how Young Thug is pretty much, I think they're looking at him as the guy that's at the top. So you have a lot of people that's saying, I want to do what I need to do to get out of this jam, and I pretty much, I get it. So, and I'll tell you why I get it. And I also want to talk about the street code, the rules of the street code. Do they all apply? Do people do what they're supposed to do? Is snitching the only thing that should apply to the street code? Now, here's the thing. Me, for example, I was arrested in 1989 for possession of narcotics, possession with intent to sell, and stuff like that. Now, when I was arrested, law enforcement came to me and pretty much said to me, like, yo, listen, we don't want you. We want the person. They pretty much tell you that, look, you ain't shit. We don't care about you. We care about the person that's at the top. And based on what the time that I ended up getting, I was like, it didn't make sense. And I was young back then. We're talking 25 years ago. And based on the time that I ended up getting, which was 10 years, I didn't feel it necessary to tell, because I had already been sitting for 2 years. And how bad could it be with me getting 10 years? How much longer would I be now? I was down another 6 years. I did 8 off of the 10. Okay, now, law enforcement knows how, and the prosecutor's office and all this stuff, and they're just doing their job. That's how I see it now. I looked at it different back then, but now I look at it like they're just doing their job. But they know how to play the game. When you choose this street life, narcotics, credit card fraud, stick-ups, whatever your choice is, you have to factor in the fact that snitching is a part of it, just as much as the police, just as much as getting money, women, jewelry, cars, all this stuff. Now, in the case of, and I'm going to use Young Thug and Gunna as an example. Young Thug gets arrested. Young Thug is the guy who's at the top, as far as I'm concerned, with a RICO case. Back then, RICO's was primarily for John Gotti's and organized crime and stuff like that. It wasn't even thought about for drug dealers and stuff like that. That wasn't even gangs and none of that shit. That wasn't even mentioned back in the day. But I think organized crime is pretty much gone. So now it's the gang shit. That's organized crime for the most part. When Gunna walked out of that courthouse, and this is from my perspective, when he walked out of the courthouse, immediately people went crazy on him. He's a snitch. He turned state's evidence. He did this. He did that. But I'm willing to bet you that most of them people that were saying that have never been put in a position to where they might have to cooperate. And you have to look at everything that surrounds that. Because again, when you choose that life, you forget about the snitching part. The snitching part is a part of it. Whether you like it or not, whether you think somebody should snitch. Because here's what happened. When I was offered my time, the lawyer came in there and told me, look, he came in there with a notebook and he said, look, you have a son. You want to see him one day, right? And I was like, yeah, I definitely want to see my son. You know, I want to go home. But I knew that I hadn't did nothing bad enough to worry about 30 years, 40 years, 25 years, anything of that nature. But I know that the people that's talking about, oh, he a snitch and you a snitch and you a snitch and you a snitch, haven't been put in a position to where they might have to cooperate. Because law enforcement knows how to do it. The district attorney knows what they want. There's no way you can tell me if you out here living in the streets, doing your thing, getting money, getting women, doing all this high profile shit. I mean, you in front of the club pulling up in the 735 and you got your jewelry on, you looking good. It's a hot summer night, the windows down, the chicks is looking at you. You can't tell me that if it all falls and it all goes down, you can't tell me that when they pull you in that room and say, look, we don't even want you. We want your man that you work for. You can't tell me that you're not going to, contemplate it. Like, damn, what should I do? It's pretty much like this. This is how it works. They pull you in the room. You got busted. Say, for example, like Thugger and Gunna and all that. And this is kind of like a different flow. It's hip hop. It's music. These guys are artists. These guys make a lot of money. They travel the world. They do all these things. You do a lot of beautiful things, luxury things, and you get busted. They take you down. A RICO. They take down 25 of your cohorts, your co-defendants and all that shit. I believe they're doing that because they want to narrow it down. Look, you're out here. You can tell us. You don't have to tell us anything. But when we take this man to trial, if we need you to sign this, that you will help us in the future. How long have you been sitting? 6 months? Tell you what, sign this. If we need you a year from now to come testify against, say, a Young Thug, tell you what, testify and you can go home tomorrow. You've been sitting 6 months now. Your girl is out there. She's pretty and, dudes are, biting at her. You still got some money out there. You got some money stashed in the shoebox or whatever, at your crib or whatever. You still have a chance to, get right when you get home. You've been sitting 6 months, though. All you have to do is sign this and make this agreement that when we go to take this person to trial, who we feel is the top dog, and we'll get points for putting him under for 25, 30 years, tell us that you'll come get on the stand and point him out of everything he does. Or we can say, did you do this on certain day? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. You saw them in the courtroom. Like, yes. Yeah, we did that. Is your nickname such and such? Yes. That stuff has a lot of pressure attached to it. So people on social media, people here and there saying, oh, nah, I wouldn't snitch. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? He's a rat, man. Fuck that. Stop it. Because you don't know. You haven't thought about it. And I did the same thing. I didn't think about snitching being a part of the whole thing when I was out there running around some 30 years ago. If they come in there and tell you, look, you don't have to cooperate. But if you don't cooperate, there's a good chance you might get 25 years. You might get 30 years if you don't cooperate. Now, you don't have to, because we'll get it from somewhere else. And imagine them getting the guilty verdict on Young Thug without you, and then they bring you up there and pull your head clean off. And you get 25 years for keeping it real with the street code, which I'll get to in a minute, which I think is nonsense, the street code. Because the street code entails more than not snitching. Give me a second. I'll get to that. Now, you're out there. You're running around. Now, you've been running. You've been sitting 6 months. I think young Gunna was sitting 6 months, and he got what's the name? They let him go home. But see, what happens is they put you on TV. You go home. And when you go home, the word is out on you. The word is out on you. I'm sorry. Give me a second. The word is out that you are a snitch, because the way he walks out is like, how did he get out and Thug ain't out? These people have sat down and did their paperwork. They did their homework while everybody was running around partying, still messing with the chicks, still doing all the craziness. These people were in there doing their due diligence to get somebody in handcuffs. And I think they grab a lot of people at one time just to narrow it down. Let's see who we going to get to talk to us, and then we go from there. But I see all these people. I saw Flex. I looked at something. Funkmaster Flex goes after Gunna about what he did to Young Thug. Flex, what would you do? 99% of the people, there's only a select few that will say, you know what, I'm going to take my chances. Because the chances you're taking is slim to none of you winning. Of you walking up out of that courthouse or walking up out of that jail with not guilty, because they've done their due diligence. They know who you run with. They're coming with the RICO. That shit sounds scary. Just the fact of RICO. If it's state or whatever, it still sounds bad. So you going up there and they taking you in a room and telling you what you need to do to go home. You go home, you might get some probation, you might get some community service or whatever you might get, but you're home. Now, factor that in with 25 years, and they still convict Thug. Now, of course, you'll be a hero to the streets, but for how long? Maybe 6 months? And here's the thing about the street code that's foolish to me. And this is coming from an OG perspective, from someone who used to be in the streets. The street code only applies, it seemed like, to snitching. And then the people that they say, the people that talks the most don't snitch, usually will snitch. The only reason they talk like that, because they haven't been put in that place that they might have to do it. They haven't been put in that position. You got these dudes signing things, oh, I want to do this because I want to get out of here. Thug, I'll deal with the streets and go home, but at least I'm home. Thug, I love you, man, but you're on your own on this one. Gunna, I believe, I read something that people are shunning him. They're not talking to him. To me, that's all foolish. That's all lies, because they're not in that position to have to make that decision of whether they're going to cooperate or whether they're going to stand tall, as they put it, and not tell on nobody. Most of the time, somebody's getting told on, and most of the time, it kind of makes sense. And you can call me a snitch or whatever, but I know right now that I won't do dirt now because I'll tell. I don't have it in me no more. That 8 years was enough for me. But people will say, it sounds good on paper. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I don't snitch, man. Snitches get stitches and body bags and ditches and all that foolishness. It sounds real good on paper. It does. It sounds good because you're not in that position. I think I saw one dude in there who was like, nah, I'm not taking that. I'll take my chances with trial. Well, that's like, again, that's tough to do, because if you lose, here it is. They gave you an opportunity. You turned it down, and they still convict them, and now they're gonna come for your head because you didn't mess with them. I think some of those things are called a proffer agreement and stuff like that. But just to say, oh, yo, he's a snitch and all that, You haven't been put there. I know a lot of people that talks about. I had a conversation with a dude, and I asked him. I said, "Yeah, have you ever been locked up?" He was like, "Nah, I ain't never been locked up." I was like, "Well, how the fuck would you know if you can withstand something like that? If somebody actually pulls you in a room and tells you, look, cooperate with us and testify against this person, and you can go home tomorrow. We'll get you out of here tomorrow morning. You'll leave. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, the paperwork will be at your door at the county jail, and you can go home. You don't want to do it? That's fine, but you're going to sit. No bail, no chance of getting out. You can come to all the hearings you want. You probably don't have the proper lawyer anyway. You probably got a legal aid, a public defender, because you can't afford a real lawyer. And chances are we're going to convict you. Your lawyer will probably work hard for you, but more than likely you're going to go away. You can hear the judge up on the stand with the Young Thug case saying, look, you don't have to cooperate with us. There's probably a strong chance we're going to convict this man and give him decades in prison. But if we give you this opportunity and you don't take us up on our opportunity and go with this, because when you think about it, the only thing that you have to deal with, and I'm not trying to subscribe or trying to push anybody to tell on anyone. If anybody's watching this, it might be in a similar situation. But what I'm saying is you have to look at the whole spectrum of it. Because again, when we choose that life, when people choose that life, they don't put snitching in it. Snitching doesn't become a part of it. Snitching is just something you think about when you get busted. When you get your paperwork and it has the confidential informant said that. I was the same way. I didn't think about it until I got my paperwork. The CI said this. The CI said that. All that shit was right, what he said. When the cops came and they arrested me, they pretty much everything they said was right. I ended up getting 10 years. Had been down 2. I was like, you know what? Did it cross my mind? No, because the people that I came with, I could never do that to them. And that might be the case with these other guys, but a lot of guys are not built like that. And when these district attorneys come in there, they already have their game plan set. See, the thing about us, we don't have a game plan set. We just have, you know, we've been doing our thing. We've been hustling, getting money. Or how do you say it? Getting to a bag. Getting to a bag. And we're out there until it hits the fan. When it hits the fan, you might have had shootings, murders, and cooperation with this crew you in. And things look good. The money's there, the women's there, everything is there until the handcuffs go on. Now, all this stuff that you did that requires a person who's a gangster to do it, will you cooperate? Here's what's on the table. This is what's on the table. If you do cooperate, you'll get 10 years probation. You'll go home tomorrow. You have to sign this, meaning when we take this man to trial, you might have to take the stand against him. The word is going to get out on you now that you cooperated with law enforcement, that you cooperated with district attorney's office or whatever. So when the word goes out, you're going to have to deal with that in the streets. Now, that's on you. But you'll be home at least. You have to take that in consideration. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you talk about. I don't care how much of a gangster you are. That stuff hits different when they got that in front of your face. It's different. If you've never experienced it, there's no way possible you can say that you won't tell, that you won't help law enforcement out. Because when you weigh it out, it's like, wait, if I go home, I just got to deal with these people calling me a snitch. I can always move away. It's a lot of things I can do. Now, I see that they're saying they don't mess with Gunna now because he left. Now, I don't know the logistics of his case or what he has to do on the back end or how he got out or whatever, he made bail or whatever, but I know that it's probably something where he's going to have to help law enforcement. He's probably weighing his option. He probably has people in his ear saying, look, cut your ties. There was a lot that happened. Imagine if you don't do what they want you to do. They're going to come for your head, and they're most likely going to get your head. So you should think about this. Sign the paper, walk right out, jump in your nice truck, back home. Sex, you missed 6 months of sex. Actually, them guys been down like 6 or 7 months. They went in May or something like that. So trust me, 6 months in the county jail is a lot. And all you have to do, everybody that does it, I didn't snitch. You're honoring street code. Now, to some people, street code is important. But for me, I believe that street code is nonsense. I believe that it's a lie. I believe that it needs to be revised. If people are going to honor the street code, they should honor everything about street code. Not just snitching, not just telling on someone. Everything should be honored about street code. You don't go home. If I'm locked up and you're home and you know my girlfriend, you don't go have sex with her and be balls deep in her. That's street code. If I'm locked up and we was running together, my commissary should be full. Every week, I should have all the necessities I need. I shouldn't be writing letters and calling home asking, where's the money at? If there's money out there, I shouldn't be doing that. That's street code. If you want to do this one part of street code, you have to do all of it. I can't be sitting in the county jail in the day room when somebody come in and say, oh, yo, Alisa, yeah, man, I seen him going to the grocery store, something like that. Now your mind is racing. So you go, and I'm giving you this from shit that I actually saw while I was incarcerated. Dudes, homeboys, people's friends, when they went away, they hadn't even been there a month. And come to find out, their friend, who they ran with in the streets and did all this nonsense with, is balls deep every night. He's standing there. Your son is his son now. You're locked up, calling home, trying to figure out, damn, the money ain't come now? Ain't come yet? I've been sitting here 2 months. I only got $40. All that money we had out there in the street. You get him on the phone. He's like, yo, man, I sent that. I don't know what happened. Now, he hasn't sent anything. He's like, all right, man, put Lisa on the phone. I'm just using Lisa as an example. Not any particular person. This shit is all, but I've seen it. She gets on the phone and she kind of feels guilty. But stuff like this comes, you was fucking with that chick and, I was trying to tell you to calm down. That's her justifying what she's doing now. But it's street code. You shouldn't be sleeping with your boy's girl. I mean, your boy shouldn't be sleeping with your girl while you're locked up. He should be making sure that there's grocery in the refrigerator, there's money in the pocket, the kid is straight or the kids are straight, because that falls in line with street code. Making sure you have money while you're in there. Street code. If you can afford it, a paid lawyer. Street code. But nobody does that part of it. The only part that's honored is the snitching part. A snitch. You're a snitch. Don't snitch. Yo, no snitching. Yo, keep your mouth shut. So if you're going to quote this, then you should honor everything, and it's not. And when you get pulled in that room, everybody that's pretty much talking, these celebrities and stuff, you got Flex, who, Flex is okay. But Flex, could you do that? If they pulled you in the room, if you was a part of some kind of organization that was doing wrong, could you withstand that? Because you're going to lose it all, pretty much. If you stand tall for the streets, you're losing it. It's gone. It's gone. Who can sit 20 years and 18 years and come home and everything's still intact? It doesn't happen. Street code, you're forgotten about. I don't care. 1 or 2 months into your bid, you're forgotten about. Even the only reason these dudes who are high end like this are remembered is because of the media. The media puts it out there. They put out who's telling, who could potentially testify, proffer agreements and all that stuff. They just do it. They just do it because it makes sense. I want to go home. Some of them will say, I want to go home. I know what I did. I don't want to get convicted of the shit I did because I'll never get out. Doug, sorry. This happens all over the place. Because, again, snitching hasn't been recognized when you're out here doing this. Nobody never sits down and goes, damn, man, somebody could probably snitch on me if I get caught for all this shit that I'm doing. I think that's what the case was with Tekashi 6ix9ine. He felt like people were disloyal, so he told. Shit, I agree with them. If you messing with my woman and I'm locked up, wait, I'm not supposed to tell? I have to be loyal to you, but you be disloyal to me? The street code, that's what I'm talking about. The street code applies to If I'm in jail, if you want to do one part of street code, do all of it. I'm supposed to stay loyal and not tell, but you're doing shiesty shit. There's no money on my books. I'm walking to the CO bubble. Oh, yo, did I get a receipt for commissary? And you're like, hold on, let me look. Nope, nothing came. It's not that hard to do it. So, if again, one part of street code should be all parts of street code. And again, that pressure is something like you could never, ever experience in your life when you walk in there and those numbers start coming out. 20 years here, 25 there. It's a violent crime, so you got to do 85% of that. So you're telling me that right now, if I tell you what you want to know, I can go home tomorrow. Now, I might have 10 years of probation. I might have to go get a job. I might have to go check in with my PO every 2 weeks, but I'm home. Or I can stay here and stand tall and stand tall for the crew, for the team, and I'll probably get 20 years and I won't be home for 16 more years. Okay, and they'll say cute shit like this. You know what? I'm going to tell a prosecutor that you're going to think about it. You come back in a month. So now you got 30 days to sit on that. Now, you can't go back and share this with anybody back at the jail because they're going to say dumb shit. They're going to say shit like, yo, man, you can't, you got to stand tall. I'm trying to figure, stand tall on fucking what? Okay, you chose it. You did it. You got busted. You should say, okay, I'm going to stand tall. But the way it's presented, you pretty much can't for the most part. Most don't. They talk about they will, but they don't. Now, if you chose the life, now theoretically, and in a moral sense, if you chose the life, then yeah, you chose this, so you should stand on it. But when they start wheeling and dealing with you, and you start saying like, damn, man, I want to go home bad, you kind of consider whether you're going to tell or not. And it happens. I believe that these dudes that they're letting go home with this Young Thug case are pretty much probably going to point them out in the courtroom and say, you know what, I'll deal with what I have to deal with on the back end. But for right now, I can't do 15 years. That's what they're probably saying. Who can? Who wants to sit for 15 years? So they feel they have to do what they have to do. And that's what's probably going to happen. Because, again, these law enforcement people, while you were out there running around with the chicks and making a bunch of money and having a bunch of fun, they were doing their homework. And it's funny when I watch this whole thing go down, you watch them. You watch them put their best foot forward. And they have the power. The feds and the DA and local law enforcement, the sheriff's office, state police and all that, when they come in there and say, yo, this is what it is, that's what it is. And a lot of people, oh, fuck that snitching shit. You have never been put in that position to say whether you're going to tell or not. So you can't really say that. You can't really go on that and I won't tell. You probably will. Honestly, and I'm going to be transparent with these shows I'm doing, I had considered it. It was a few people that was involved in my case, and I felt one of the persons wasn't doing right by me. So his name definitely ran across my mind. Like, why should I stay loyal to this person who's not loyal to me? I'm forgotten about. I'm, getting called. I'm calling home and they're telling me my son is walking around with duct tape holding his sneakers together. Why isn't he being taken care of? I ate a cake. One of my cases, I ate for someone else. And they didn't do what they were supposed to do. And that's the truth. And it was like, why should I stand tall when no one is standing tall for me? That's what I get from this. That's how I feel. And I'm sorry I feel that way, but for me, it's common sense. To anybody, it would be common sense. I'm not going to put all this into this and you're not putting nothing into it. It's like a relationship when you choose the streets and you're running around with a bunch of dudes. And if these dudes are doing you wrong, like if I'm in prison doing 10 years and you're messing with my girl on the low, like she's sneaking you in at 12 o'clock at night and you taking her down and knocking her over, and I'm calling her home and you sitting in the bed eating a fucking turkey wings and rice, while you're on the phone with me and you got your shirt off and you know that we like brothers. Why are you sleeping with my woman? Street code violation. So you're telling me I shouldn't tell on you? I should stand tall. I should be honorable. I should be loyal to you while you're balls deep. Know this is my woman or my wife or my fiance. Man, you got to be stupid. Whoever thinks like that is a fool. You're going to be honorable to that. You're going to stand tall with that. You're going to say this dumb shit about street code and you know what I'm saying? You got to be a man and shut the hell up. I can probably be a man if you hold down what you're supposed to hold down. You put down, you do what you're supposed to do, then I can do what I'm supposed to do. Because I did choose it. I did choose it. When I was arrested and they was walking in the room giving me all these mathematical, my first offer was like 25 years. The only thing that got me the 10 was I was supposed to come back to court to take 15. And on my way to the court, I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. A stroke of luck, my lawyer comes downstairs and says, the judge said, come upstairs right now. Prosecutor said, come upstairs right now and take 10. If you don't take 10, come back in a month and pick your jury. And I was like, damn, I've been sitting 2. I was like, when will I go home? He said, you should be home in 2 years, which wasn't true. But that's what he said to me. All right, went upstairs and took the 10. I feel, and I might be crazy, I feel that while I'm on that 10, which was 8 years, and I know things change, excuse me for that, and I know things change, but at least 2 or 3 of those years, money orders should be flowing through. Now, after a couple of years, I should be able to get my shit together and be able to make my own money while I'm in the joint, whether, you know, I'm working in the kitchen or whether, you know, I'm doing whatever. But if I'm sitting and no money orders are coming in from the street, from the ones that I kept it real with, then there's a problem with that. And for me, that's not good. So a lot of cats that you call snitches might feel something disloyal happened from the crew. I have money out there. Take this money, pay this bill. Make sure my girl has money or my wife or fiance. Not take this money and go buy you a new car and ride around in front of it. Not go to my house while I'm locked up. I'm calling home and you laying in the bed just pulling your meat out of my used-to-be wife or fiance. You violated. I shouldn't tell on you. I'm telling them shit they didn't ask for. If you're disloyal like that, the cops will have to smack me once to talk and 4 times to shut up. So when you have, just remember, when you're in this crew and you're at the top, you should be good to everybody. So it makes it less likely for somebody to tell on you. Now, that doesn't mean they're not going to tell, because again, law enforcement has their shit together way more than somebody out there doing crime. They know how to throw these numbers around based on guidelines. You can't tell me they walk in and say, listen, tell on this person or take 20 years right now. Right now. It's not up for debate. Take it right now. Or do you want to give us some information that we don't know? You're not going to contemplate that? As a human being, you just got 20 years right now in you to say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and knock this 20 on out right quick because I'm a real gangster. You know what I'm saying? That's how I play. Bullshit. Bullshit. It's not happening. For the most part. Why do you think on TV when you watch this Young Thug thing, you see 5 people have cooperated, 3 people have cooperated, his main people are cooperating? Because that's not easy. And even though he is who he is, he should be able to say, you know what? You know, I get it. They probably threw a lot of time at him. We was out here doing our thing, so this is kind of our fault too. So everybody, Flex. You're on Hot 97 talking. I looked on Hot 97. It was like, Flex goes off on Gunna. I was like, what if you was there? What would you do? You willing to give all that up? You chose street life now. And you're willing to give all this good stuff you got going on. You got the fancy new cars and the women and the jewelry and the money and all that stuff. You're willing to give that up to stay honorable to something that's not going to honor you, which is the streets. Go by and check on wifey. Shit. Yeah, okay. Wifey getting her whole guts knocked loose by your friend, your man. That's why the money orders are short or ain't coming at all. Because they doing them. You locked up. You out of sight, out of mind. I talk like this because I know about it. That's why I read this stuff and I'm like, yo, these dudes is lying. And the dude I was talking to today was, oh, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I'll stand tall for mine. No, you won't, liar. You want to go home. You want to go home. You'll deal with that, them calling you a snitch when you get out. You'll deal with that. You can move away. Nobody will see you. Nobody will know that you moved to another state. Shit, that's what you might have to do. Gunna has a lot of money, so he can pretty much move away and still make music. Tekashi moved on with his life. From what I'm understanding, the dudes was disloyal to him. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But if they were disloyal, he should have did that. Then they got this civilian and who's a gangster and who's a civilian. Shut up. Everybody is a civilian once you get in that back room. And these people start throwing them numbers at you. You're a civilian. You're scared. You want to go home. You need a hug. And what what did you say? How much time I'll do? When will I go home? Oh, you'll be home tomorrow. Imagine that. That's crazy. Imagine they telling you, yo, you've been sitting for 6 months. Imagine them telling you, you going home tomorrow. All you got to do is sign this and help us. You won't even consider it? You won't even consider that? Let me play that noise right quick. You won't even consider that? Yeah, you'll consider it. If you don't, you're a damn fool. Now, again, I know you chose the life. I know that street life was nice. It felt good. But, man, 20 years don't. 20 years on the 85%, you're going to do 17? 17? That's a lot to come home and nobody knows who you are. The most you can get is a damn cookout. The most you'll get is a cookout. Maybe a pair of jeans. Maybe a couple dollars. $10, $20 or whatever. But nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to remember. Nobody's going to say, yo, man, that dude is a real one. Nobody cares about that. Look at all these big names like Sammy the Bull and all that. And Alpo, God rest the dead and all that. There was something put in place. Something happened that made them say, I'll cooperate. And it happens. Because once you get in there, it's a different ball game. You're playing on somebody else's court now. These people hold the cards. They telling you what you can do and what you can't do. They're letting you know, if you help us, this will happen. If you don't, depending on your crimes, you probably won't go home ever again. Never. You'll sit here forever. Who the hell can do that? Especially when you were used to having a good time, enjoying life. Okay, you pick illegal activities. But you were enjoying life. You was having a great time. And now look at you. You locked up. Can't get out. And when they say, Your Honor, we asked for no bail because he's a flight risk or something crazy like that, you don't even have the small chance of getting out on bail because your street life cats ain't even holding it down for you anyway. Your bail's $100,000. You need to go see the bondsman, get 10% together, which is $10,000, or pay in installments. I need come down to the jail with $3,000. I'll get him right now. Oh wait, he has another case. Or come with $3,000, I can get him. They don't even show up. They run. You call them home like, yo, why the fuck I'm not out yet? Where y'all at? Oh, we trying to. The bondsman is fronting, and we trying to get the money up now. Get the money up. I left money out there. Street code violation, but nobody honors that part. They only honor the part of no snitching. Well, I've been sitting here 5 months. When you coming to get me? What's going on? Why am I sitting here? I should be home. I should be home. I mean, put my girl on the phone. She goes, hello? Hello? You all right? Nah, man, I'm ready to come home. We trying to get you now. Your boy just got through having sex with her. Street code violation. And it's just ugly. So all these cats out here to talk that talk and talk that nonsense pretty much are not built like that. Law enforcement has already mapped it out when they come get you. In most cases, when the door come down, you don't even have to have any drugs on you. You got so many indictments and you got so many things they've watched you doing and watching you from 2 blocks away and recording you and all kind of stuff. They don't need no drugs. They got plenty undercover sales and all that. And then get you in a room and say, look, we'll excuse all this shit we got on you. We might implicate you in a murder. We might implicate you in all kinds of stuff. But check this out. You want to go home? We know you have a daughter. We know you have a son. We're going to let you go home. Just need your help. We just need your help on something. What we need your help on is you to participate in this indictment we're trying to put on the big boy. We're trying to get him. And we know you're close to him. So we need you to cooperate. We need to ask you a few questions and you say yes. If we go to trial, we need you to take the stand and say, that's him right there, Your Honor. And don't even make eye contact with him because you're going home. You get to walk out of that courtroom and go home. He gets to go back downstairs in the bullpen and get ready for the next day of trial. He's found guilty. Here's your probation. Stay clean. Go get you a job. Whatever. If you want to move, let us know. We'll try to figure that out. But street code needs to be revised. I think it's stupid. It only applies to the snitching part of it. And the people that's talking about not snitching will probably fucking snitch if it came down to it. They're just not in your damn shoes. And I'm giving you this from experience. So what I'm saying is, don't do crime. Don't do fucking crime. I told somebody the other day, I'm not doing crime because if I get caught, I'm telling on you. I don't have it in me. So I'll stay working and stay free, getting on this mic and talking to people and enjoying it and hope they subscribe to the channel and hope they like it and hope they, next show I want to have the phone line open in case you want to call in, boom, 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 blah, blah, blah. Trust me. Everybody that's talking about don't snitch or who they ain't going to fuck with no more or I'm not messing with him no more will tell. They will testify against you. They just haven't been put in your position. They just talking because it sound good. Everybody. You have all this stuff going on that's taken away from you and you not going to tell? They telling you might get 20 years if you don't? Shit. Okay. Don't tell. And I'm not saying this. If anybody that's watching it might say, hey, I want to cooperate because I listen to this podcast. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying just try to stay out of the way because you will get your head pulled off and you will go away for 20 years and they'll forget about you 3 months after you get locked up. 3 months you're forgotten about, especially if you're a no name. I'm using these dudes as examples because they're big names. But most likely, if you're some cat who's getting a little money on the street and you might have did some crime or shot a couple of people or whatever you did, they'll forget about you. Your girl will be, the meat will be plentiful for her while you're locked up. And you'll get the information because somehow the jail cats know. They know who's sleeping with who. And when they come in that day room, they will tell you. You might ask them, oh, yeah, my girl Lisa, she live over there by your block. He's like, oh, word, Lisa? Yeah, I saw her on Tony motorcycle yesterday. Tony who? That's my man, Tony G. Tony G, that's my man. Yeah, she was on the motorcycle. You know, he was riding around or whatever. So now you jumping on the phone. Boop, 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 boop. I hear the calls are free now. When I was locked up, it was collect call. Collect call from a correctional facility. Will you accept? Yes. What's going on? Can I talk to you for a minute? You better not say nothing too cute either. Because she'll hang up the phone. That's right, I'm fucking him. And hang up. Boop. Now you're ready to kill yourself. Now you don't know who to talk to now. Now you're screwed. I'm just saying this whole street code shit is bullshit. That's what I'm saying. This whole street code thing is nonsense. Because law enforcement are 2 steps ahead. The district attorney's office is 2 steps ahead. They know what they're going to do to your ass. They know what kind of numbers they're coming with. Trust me. And you don't have to say yes. You absolutely can say, nah, I ain't taking that. You have the right to say no, but I tell you what. The transport bus will be waiting for you. When you're headed up north or south or west or whatever prison they select for you, you're going to do that. And the streets will forget about you. You won't get any letters. You probably won't be able to call home unless it's free. But I can guarantee no letters are coming. Maybe your moms or whatever will talk to you. But friends, forget about it. Done. Girlfriends, done. Your wife, depending on how much time you got, she might hang in there. If you got 25 years, what do you expect her to do? You got 25 and you on the phone saying stupid shit like, yo, man, don't be giving my shit away while I'm gone. Hold that down for me. You better hold that down. Nobody better not hit that.
Bruh.
Shut up, stupid. Somebody gonna be tearing that ass up while you locked up. They might be tearing up while you're not locked up, but you locked up? Yeah, okay. I tell you what, do what you do, man. But everybody that's out here running their mouth about not telling and all that, keep living. Choose street life, choose a crime life, and get busted. And you're not the top man they want, and see what you do. Especially if those numbers are running around like that you don't like. 25 here, 15 there, 30 there. Okay. And you ain't gonna tell you gonna stand tall? Okay. I hear you. Thank you. I appreciate the time. Please check this out. I know there's probably nobody watching or whatever right now, but I'm going to try to build this from a YouTube perspective and try to get the ball rolling. I'm going to come with stuff like every week and, just drop some shit on you and see, talk to you, have a good time with you, enjoy myself. I love being on this microphone. Don't forget, there's a show that I do with a dude, Ping Boyd, who's crazy, that you could check out. It'll be right up here on YouTube. But for the most part, I want to start doing this because I have some time. I can knock this out and do my thing with this. And again, thanks for watching. Where's my applause? That was my electronic applause. Appreciate you checking it out. Don't forget, the show was called Will You Cooperate with Law Enforcement? And check it out. Let me know what you think. Send some comments, stuff like that. And everybody, I appreciate you watching. Thank you. I'm gonna come with something every week. Now it might be relationships, it might be women, it might be all kinds of stuff. Who knows? It might be something crazy. But I'm gonna have guests up here, all kind of stuff. Again, thank you for watching. Peace out. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the show. We really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and comment to the show, and check us out for new things that are coming in the near future. Also, hit that notification button to get alerted when we do new stuff and new videos that come out from my perspective, of course. Again, thanks for watching. We really appreciate you.